Meanwhile, Congress party in the morning raised concerns over 4 of its bank accounts, including that of the Indian Youth Congress being frozen by the Income Tax Department. Congress party treasurer Ajay Makan said that the action is on account of a delay in filing IT returns for the year 2018-2019, which was the election year. It is not freezing of Congress's accounts, but freezing of democracy that has happened. When the announcement for elections are just a month away, they have frozen the account of the principal opposition party. This is what Ajay Makan said in a press conference today. In all, 4 accounts of the Congress party had been frozen, but also in a relief to the Congress party after the party approached the ITAT, which is the Income Tax Appellate Authority, to defreeze their accounts. The Income Tax Appellate Authority has allowed the party to operate its accounts for now. There is, of course, a hearing scheduled on the 21st of February.
हम लोगों को परसों ये जानकारी मिली कि जो चेक हम लोग इशू कर रहे हैं वो बैंक्स उस चेक को ऑनर नहीं कर रहे हैं। उसके ऊपर जब हम लोगों ने आगे छानबीन करी तो हमें बताया गया कि देश की मुख्य ऑपोजिशन पार्टी के सारे अकाउंट्स फ्रीज कर दिए गए हैं। कांग्रेस पार्टी के अकाउंट्स पर तालाबंदी हो गई है। कांग्रेस पार्टी के अकाउंट्स फ्रीज कर दिए गए हैं। हमारे देश में लोकतंत्र पर तालाबंदी हो गई है।
All bank accounts of Congress party of the AICC have been frozen, which means in the coming festival of elections, one of the largest stakeholders will not be able to participate. We will not be able to take up any expenditure whatsoever, whether it is movement of vehicles, people, yatras, anything at all connected with these elections. The court heard me for some time. I said we have very good case on facts. We had filed a return on time. It is being misconstrued, and only for that reason we can't be punished disproportionately.
I have my colleagues Harsha and Sunil Prabhu joining us on this broadcast with more details on the story. Harsha, the Prime Minister today has lashed out at the Congress yet again, saying that the party has always promoted corruption and in fact has also promoted people who have abused him. Tell us the significance of his speech, specifically talking about Rajasthan and the developmental schemes there. This was at an event called Viksit Bharat, Viksit Rajasthan.
Well, absolutely, Vasudha. You know, the context is the Lok Sabha election and the assembly elections that have just concluded in Rajasthan. Now, remember, development, welfare schemes, guarantee. In fact, guarantee was a word we heard again and again and again. And it was Ashok Gehlot's welfare pitch versus Prime Minister Narendra Modi's guarantee. So I think somewhere now, now that the dust has settled on the Vidhan Sabha elections, you're looking at a Lok Sabha election. That's why he has focused on Rajasthan. He's talked about the French president's visit, which was really a showstopper in some senses for Rajasthan. He's spoken about how solar panels, you know, Rajasthan is, of course, one of the states which produces the highest amount of solar energy. So taking off from there, you know, how solar panels will be used, rooftop solar harvesting, giving free electricity. Because if you want to develop, I think the focus of the BJP is very clear. The slant is very clear. The development pitch is infrastructure, roads, jobs for youth and farmers. And remember, he's made it very clear, women, youth, farmers. These are the castes, you know, they don't go into caste politics or say even offering a caste census, which was what, remember, the Congress's election pitch. Also somewhere, you know, the welfare schemes didn't really position the Congress into power. So whether you were handing out free mobiles or, you know, cutting down people's electricity bills, it didn't really give you the chief minister's chair. So I think somewhere the BJP wants to separate itself, differentiate itself. It's got its sense of the voters' pulse that freebies, handouts don't work, and the road to development is through infrastructure development. That's why this whole pitch of the double engine Sarkar and how you know, that will help. And if you look at it, I mean, Eastern Rajasthan Canal project is a case in point. As soon as this government comes to power, that project is probably going to be launched before Lok Sabha elections. So definitely a clear election pitch by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, even as he takes on the Ashok Gehlot government.
Thank you, Harsha, for joining us with those details. Sunil, even as the Prime Minister continues to lash out at the Congress Party faced a crisis today. 4 bank accounts sort of frozen by the IT department, but the party was quick enough to take legal recourse to this. Tell us what really happened and this temporary relief in being able to operate the accounts till at least 21st of February, which is when the hearing would take place. How is the party looking at this?
Well, firstly, as you rightly pointed out, the accounts were frozen not today, but 2 days ago. And they came to know when they had issued checks and they were not being accepted by the bank. And that's when they found out that the accounts were frozen. It's based on that decision that they finally moved the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal today. They timed the public announcement for this morning to ensure that while they were seeking justice, they would be able to at least tell the people what exactly happened. All accounts of the Congress party, along with its youth Congress, were frozen because of the fact that they had delayed in payment of filing their income tax returns, which were, as been pointed out by their lawyer, disproportionate and putting a demand of nearly 135 crores. They delayed by 45 days in the 2018-19, which was an election year, in filing the income tax returns. And it's in that backdrop that the Congress party has now appealed against this verdict. It had rendered the party really impossible for it to function because it was undergoing a Nyaya Yatra, electricity bills, staff payments, and other things were kept on hold. And it's in this context that they have now provided all possible, details to the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, and hoping that on Wednesday, when they hear that matter, now that the accounts are not frozen, they'll be able to convince them and get that much needed relief. The timing is something that they're questioning. Ahead of elections, the festival of democracy, as they call it, the Congress party being rendered impossible to function, which says is not a level playing field. This comes, of course, a day after the Supreme Court had held the anonymous electoral bonds as unconstitutional and making it mandatory for the SBI to stop immediately, as well as to ensure one way or the other that those who have given electoral bonds, their name and number, it will require some data analysis, has been pointed out by former finance secretaries, to correlate. But hopefully, whether there was a quid pro quo or what exactly happened and who was responsible for those electoral bonds will have to be seen when it is published on the 13th of March.